Alaska, 1964. When our big quake hit, I lived in the Turnagain neighborhood of Anchorage. I was 5. The quake? It was 9.2 on the Richter scale. I thought it was a hoot. It wasn't until days later that we discovered that just down the street, 2 children had been lost, swallowed by the greedy earth.
It could just as easily have been you. I'm not picky.
Or fair.
Watch it.
A few years later, my family took a trip to Washington, D.C. We were walking down a busy street when I was surprised to find my mom suddenly hugging me. Rube that I was, I had stepped off the curb into the path of an oncoming car. Mom snatched me back in the nick of time.
Mom's getting more trouble than doctors.
Yep, Mom was good. Hey!
Ha! Did you look?
I would guess my third brush with death happened around the same time. Back home in Alaska, the younger me was happily roasting marshmallows in the backyard. My marshmallow suddenly burst into flame, and as I waved it around frantically, trying to put the flame out, a little bit of marshmallow stuck in my hair, setting it on fire. Mom put it out with her bare hands.
Oh please, brush with death? That wasn't even close.
Man, my hair was on fire.
We're talking 3rd-degree burns, worst case scenario.
Easy for you to say, Baldy.
Ow.
This was followed by a relatively quiet period. It was the 60s and death was busy elsewhere.
Hey, never too busy for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. Carry on.
Then I turned 16. I can make that light. You gotta pick up Mike and get to the game. The yellow was stale long before I reached the intersection of Minnesota and Pinson. I ended up blowing through a full-on red light, scaring the crap out of all involved. Shaken, I drove across town. I overshot my destination and pulled down a dark street to turn around. A car came up behind me and braked hard, and a man jumped out. I watched in amazement as my right hand, seemingly of its own volition, flew in front of my face and slammed the lock shut. My younger sister Margot and I cowered in the dark car as the man who had followed us all the way across town shook RVW with impotent rage. Oh, which reminds me, if you're out there, Enrage guy, I just want to apologize.
That's beautiful. Aloha.
Ever wonder how many people die while on vacation? I do, ever since the late 70s when we visited the Big Island in Hawaii. I was body surfing in moderate waves when I began to tire. Tumbling in the grip of the water, dashed on the submerged rocks, bruised and coughing, I figured I was a goner. Suddenly a bronzed Greek god of a man appeared and hauled me to safety. My rescuer plunged back into the sea and I lay in the hot sand and pondered what had just happened.
I never go on vacation.
In 1983, I was on my way to work on a cold February day. The sign said walk, but I'm told I flew when the driver of a pickup truck made a left turn directly into my rib cage. I got a telegram from my brain which said, "You are being hit by a car. Stop. This kills people. Stop." I blacked out and woke up on my back, staring at an empty blue sky. I had 3 broken ribs and a ruptured spleen. But I lived. Suppose any of these encounters had been fatal. So what? Well, for one, my wife would be married to the wrong guy. My son would not exist. And you, dear viewer, would never have seen this film.